beautiful series called what? Joseph. Yes, yes, yes. I know you're having a good time with this one. We are on part three. Yes, part three. And if you kind of just kind of jumped and went to part this one here, you need to go back. Go listen to part one, two, and three. This story is exciting. Joseph, remember, is the son of Jacob, right? And watch this. Joseph, who is favored by his father, his brother has turned on him. Yes. And what has they done to him? They have sold him into slavery. This is awful. Now, how old is Joseph? You know, we're coming back with a quiz later. He's 17 at this point, right? He has been sold into slavery, but watch this. Every place or a situation he get put in, the Bible is saying that God is with him. Yes, that God is with Joseph. Now watch this. We last time we talked about how Potiphar, who is his boss, his slave master, he's married and he has a wife. And last time we talked about how the wife, Potiphar's wife, what was she doing? She started coming on to Joseph. The Bible said that Joseph was handsome. Mhm. That he was handsome, yes. And his form was nice. So you can imagine, he's good. They call it good eye candy, right? So his wife, Potiphar's wife, has come on to him, but Joseph is a man of God. No matter what circumstances and what he has been put into, he is still believing in God to do that which is right and not sin against God, right? Mm. So, as the story went, and it went on and it talks about how Joseph was put in jail because he was holding to the standards of God and not sinning against God and doing evil. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you could be doing good and some bad things happen to you. But I dare you to just keep trusting God. And watch this. God will deliver you when you're doing what's right. Always do what's right. You say, Lady Price, if I do what's right, I'm going to get in trouble. But I tell you what, I dare you to tell the truth. And not try to, cover things up and try to lie. You don't want to become a liar. No. You want to always tell the truth. And here Joseph is standing for what is right. He's not going to have a relationship with his master's wife. He's not going to do that. And watch this. That's wrong. But here's the other thing of it. He said, I'm not going to sin against God. I know I'm saying something. I know that I'm saying something really, really good. But last time we talked about how I think we left off we were on Genesis, the 39th chapter, and I left off at the 23rd verse, and that I'll read that last verse that I left off on. It says, the keeper of the prison did not look into anything that was under Joseph's authority, because the Lord was with him, and whatever he did, the Lord made it to prosper. Here Joseph is now in prison because he stood up for that which is right. Always stand up for that which is right, no matter what is going to come your way. Watch this. You serve an awesome God. But you say, oh my God, he's been put in prison. Where was God then? The Bible said that God was with him. Stand up for what you know is right. And you trust that your God is going to deliver you and is going to be with you no matter what it looks like. No, yes, sometimes it looks like you're getting into trouble, and you may get into trouble, but you just keep on praising God anyway. You tell the truth. You tell the truth. Watch this. When you're a liar and you don't do things that is right, watch this. Nobody can trust you. I know I'm talking. When you've made up in your mind, I'm going to be a liar. I'm not going to tell the truth to my mom. I'm not going to be truthful. When you get that in your heart, nobody can trust you. And you're trying to figure out why they won't give me this, why people won't do this for me. It's because you have made up in your mind that, I'm going to be a liar. People know that that's what you're going to do. And watch this. I'm not going to do what is right. When you have created that type of situation, no one wants to trust you. Come on, come on. You know I'm right. Come on. Yes, but we as children of God, we choose to do that which is right. Let's move into the story here. 40th chapter of Genesis. Let's see what happens. And it came to pass after these things that the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt offended their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, the chief butler and the chief baker. So he put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guards, in the prison, the place where Joseph was confined. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, so they were in custody for a while. Then the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were confined in the prison, had a dream, both of them. Each man's dream in one night, and each man's dream with its own interpretation. And Joseph came in to them in the morning and looked at them and saw that they were sad. So he asked Pharaoh's officers who were with him in the custody of his Lord's house, saying, "Why do you look so sad?" So let me explain what's happening here. Pharaoh's servants, the butler and the baker, are put in prison because they have offended Pharaoh, the big boss. And so watch this. They one day have a dream, both of them, and they both were sad. So Joseph now is asking, why are you sad? You got me? Let's go back in. So he asked Pharaoh's officers who were with him in the custody of his Lord's house, saying, "Why do you look so sad today?" And they said to him, "We each have had a dream, and there is no interpretation of it." So Joseph said to them, Do not interpretations belong to God. Tell them to me, please. Here they tell Joseph, they say, Joseph, we both have had a dream, and we don't know what they mean. And Joseph said, don't interpretation come from God? He said, let me hear what you got. Now watch this. Remember, when Joseph was young, he had this gift. Remember, he had the dream, and he told his brothers that they were going to bow down to him. Here Joseph has the gift of interpretation, or the gift of prophetic gift. Watch this. Then the chief butler told his dream to Joseph. So here's one of them telling his dream to Joseph, and said to him, "Behold, in my dream a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches. It was as though it budded. Its blossoms shot forth, and its clusters brought forth ripe grapes. Then Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said to him, this is the interpretation of it." And what's happening here is Joseph is getting ready to interpret what his dream was, the dream that he had. Let's see what Joseph has to say. He says, then Pharaoh's cup was, it says, and Joseph said to him, I'm at the 12th verse if you're following me. And Joseph said to him, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Now within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your place. And you will put Pharaoh's cup in his hand according to the former manner when you were his butler. He says this, that Pharaoh is going to restore you, bring you back. That's exciting news, isn't it? Somebody shake their head. Yes, it is. And he said, he tells the butler, he said, but remember me when it is well with you, and please show kindness to me. Make mention of me to Pharaoh and get me out of this house. He's telling the butler, please remember me. I know what's about to happen to you, that you're about to get restored. Tell Pharaoh about me. And let's go on. He says, for indeed I was stolen away from the land of the Hebrews, and also I have done nothing here that they shall put me into the dungeon. He's saying, listen, everything that has come upon me, these things, I have done nothing to deserve it. What? He's telling the truth, is he not? Watch this. Did not his brothers sell him? Watch this. Did not the lady lie on him? Yes, she did. So these situations that he's in, he did not deserve it at all. Isn't God good, though? God's got a plan. Let's go into the next one. It says here, let's go here. Let's pick back up with, but remember me. Let's go to the 15th first. He said, for indeed I was stolen away from the land of the Hebrews, and also I have done nothing here that they should put me into the dungeon. 16th verse. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said to Joseph, I also was in my dream, and there were 3 white baskets on my head. So the other servant, the baker, is about to tell his dream. The other one has already told his dream, and so the other one is getting ready to tell his, because he see that his dream was good and he got a good interpretation. Let's see what happened. He says, when the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said to Joseph, I also was in my dream, and there were 3 white baskets on my head. In the uppermost baskets were all kinds of baked goods for Pharaoh, and the birds ate them out of the basket on my head. So Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 days, he says, Pharaoh will lift off your head from you and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh from you. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast for all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. Then he restored the chief butler to his butlership again. And he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. But he hung the chief butler as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but he forgot him. So let me explain. You say, Lady Price, what does all this mean? Here we go. You got the chief butler and the chief baker. The butler is restored back just as Joseph has interpreted the dream. Isn't that awesome? But the baker is killed, just like he interpreted. But watch this. He asks the baker, say, listen, I need for you to remember me when you're restored. But the Bible said he what? He forgot about him. Woo! Wow. Watch this. Let's go into the next chapter. Let's go into the 41st chapter. All right. I got to keep time here. All right. Let's see. Sometime I have another timer and that one stays straight. All right. You all ready? It says here, 41st chapter, it says, then it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh had a dream, and behold, he stood by the river. So let me tell you, because I'm going to kind of jump a little bit. So, because I know sometimes when you're reading it all, you can get a little bored here. But let me tell you, Joseph has, wait a minute. Pharaoh has a dream. After 2 years, the butler did not come to get Joseph, right? So Pharaoh has a dream. And it says, and I'm going to read part of it. It says here, suddenly there came up out of the river 7 cows, fine looking and fat, and they fed in the meadows. Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them out of the river, ugly and gaunt, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the river. And the ugly, and the gaunt cover cows, ate up the 7 fine-looking and fat cows. So Pharaoh awoke. He slept and dreamed a second time, and suddenly 7 heads of grain came up on one stalk, plump and good. Then behold, 7 thin heads, blighted by the east wind, sprang up against them. And the 7 thin heads devoured the 7 plump and full heads. So Pharaoh woke, and indeed it was a dream. Here, Pharaoh is having these 2 dreams. And the Bible said, now it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all its wise men. And Pharaoh told them his dream. Watch this. But there was no one who could interpret them for Pharaoh. Pharaoh has this dream. And you're saying, Lady Price, how this connecting to Joseph? I want you to stay connected with me. I want you to continue to listen to me. Pharaoh has these dreams, and no one, he had magicians, and they could not interpret the dreams for Pharaoh. So watch this. Let me see if I can kind of cut through here. Then the chief butler spoke. I'm on the ninth verse. Then the chief butler spoke to Pharaoh, saying, I remember my faults this day, when Pharaoh was angry with his servant and put me in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, both me and the chief baker. And he said, we each had a dream in one night, he and I. Each of us dreamed according to the interpretation of his own dream. And he said, and basically what happened, because my time is almost out of here, he tells Pharaoh about Joseph. It took 2 years. But he tells Pharaoh about Joseph. He remembers. Watch this, because Pharaoh's people could not interpret dreams. Let's see what happened. 14th verse. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him quickly out of the dungeon, and he shaved, changed his clothes, and came to Pharaoh. Praise the Lord. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it, but I have heard it said of you that you can understand a dream and interpret it. This gift he had since he was young. God is about to use him to get him out of this place. Look at God. Isn't God awesome? Woo! God has a plan in store for Joseph. I'm sure Joseph was thinking that God has forgot about him. Watch this. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, behold, in my dream I stood on the bank of the river. Here Pharaoh is going to tell him his 2 dreams. He's going to tell him about the dreams that he dreamed. And he's going to share with him his dreams. Do you think Joseph is going to be able to interpret it? Watch this. The other people couldn't interpret it. The magicians couldn't interpret his dreams. Do you think Joseph is going to be able to do it? Joseph has loved God. He's been serving God. He's been doing that which is right. And even Joseph has said himself, he said, does not interpretation come from God? He is looking for God to give him the interpretation of this dream. Oh my God. Isn't this awesome? Woo! I'm going to have to come back and finish this up next time. Lady Price is out of time. Yes, we're going to pick back up on the next section of this series. I'm loving this. I'm having a good time. I don't know about you, but I'm having a wonderful time. Joseph is a good man, and God is using him for his purpose. Woo! Listen, Lady Price out of time. God bless you. I love you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you.
Parents, thank you so much for allowing your child to watch DYD. It is my heart's desire that every child be ministered to. Parents, I'm going to need your monthly financial support in order for this ministry to continue daily. I just believe by faith that God will lay on your heart an amount that you can consistently give into this ministry. Trust me when I say that the daily investment of the Word of God into your child's life is priceless. I've done this for 21 years and I've seen the results. Will you partner with me? Go to the donation page, and from there, you will be a blessing to this ministry. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.